Hello and welcome to my session on representation of women in popular culture. I'm Dr. Barbara Mitra. I'm Senior Lecturer in Media and Culture here at the University of Worcester. So the first thing I want to talk about is this notion of ideologies about femininity. And these tend to focus on relationships and romance, particularly in relation to popular culture and popular cultural representations. Now, somebody called Angela McRobbie conducted a study into popular magazines such as Jackie, which is around from 1964 to 1993. And she suggested that the magazine promoted an ideology of very conservative and traditional teenage femininity. It revolved very much around two issues: how to get a boyfriend and how to look good. So it was about femininity, which focused on the domestic and personal. Marriage was portrayed as a key goal. There has been a shift towards new femininity, which is more socially and sexually assertive, confident, aspirational and fun-seeking. And this encourages, it's argued by some, girls to seek success and pleasure, to get drunk or go shopping. So this new femininity premised on a new sexuality. However, it's argued by some that actually other cultural texts challenge this notion and are critical of new femininity. So, for example, some newspapers in the UK label women who binge drink as unfeminine. Somebody called Diane Negra has analysed the ways in which popular cultural representations of women revolve around distinct stages. And these include finding a man, getting married and having children. So being feminine means living in a state of crisis, trying to combat the problems associated with an ageing body. Women are running out of time to achieve the milestones of womanhood, getting married, having children. So women become essentialized, driven by needs and desires. Femininity then in popular culture remains relational, tied to and defined by others, such as men, children, partners, etc. Conventional gender differences revolve around dichotomies, and the new independent, self-consciously sexy and fun femininity is countered by the persistence of conventional notions of femininity. So it suggested that younger females are allowed to experiment with sex, drink, etc., as long as they settle down and become conventional later on in life. So it's seen as a temporary condition. And whilst previously men have been associated with the public domain of work and women with the private space of the domestic, it's argued that this has been challenged and changed quite a lot. But women in work, it's argued, in popular culture is still seen as secondary in importance to romance and relationships. So women having careers still need to prove their femininity, for example. And you can think of films where women who have high-powered careers are tended to be portrayed as unhappy in their relationships. So sexuality and morality have different meanings and implications for femininity and masculinity. For women, respectability is still tied to appropriate sexuality, where women have to be sexually innocent, modest or shy to be appropriately feminine. Openly sexual women with multiple partners, or those who emphasize their sexuality through clothing or demeanor, are still not associated, it's argued, with respectable femininity. So this also presents a dichotomy. So women as vamps or virgins, it's argued, tending to categorize women into one or other of those dichotomies. And you could actually look at a film like Black Swan, and the main character in that in relation to that key idea. And that's all I'm going to say about some of these ideas, except that actually it's worth going and reading some of these key ideas, and I've put up this bibliography to help you get started. Thank you for listening.